is a drawing that I am calling self-portrait. Let's see what comes out. I never know what's going to come out, and I am just, I feel something, I feel and I see an image, and I will try to give it life. I feel something very strongly inside me, and this is how each drawing comes about. I never know though what I have a intuition, but it's not, you can't put it in words, and I can't describe it. The only way it can be described is through drawing. And so that's why I draw, to give these visions life. And this one I have a very strong intuition that it is a self-portrait, and it will be very beneficial for me to have this self-portrait because I can use it when I meditate and look at it. It will take my consciousness, my mind, from this human reality, this world, into a greater consciousness where I exist at a different, in a different plane. Without this drawing, it is harder for me to consistently stay in that frequency and to find it. With this drawing, it will be easier for me. So that is what these drawings are, a tool, an aid for those that are ready and understand exactly what this means. thing that I always have present in my inner dialogue while I'm drawing is that if I have the courage to be able to see, to be able to give myself over to the process and to what is emerging without editing it, without judging it, without being afraid, without worrying what others will think, and will others accept it, can they handle it, what will these aren't for sale, so it doesn't matter. These are for me, and they're for my inner journey and my evolution, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what others if they might be frightened. So it's about handing myself over to this process and knowing and believing that this has a reason, that believing that this is real, that this being is a real being. It is to me. It doesn't matter what others may think or believe. I'm okay with that. And it has taken me a long time to feel comfortable with who I am and what I do. And to the point where it's okay. I don't need to prove this to anyone. I find it fascinating to give myself over to something. And as you can see, I'm not channeling per se that I cannot function in the real world. I am still present and fully conscious and aware in my human self while I do this work. I'm not handing myself over, or my consciousness or my being, my body, to anything. Nothing is taking me over and taking control of who I am. And I like that. I feel safe that I still feel safe in that. So slowly something begins to emerge, and there's no right or wrong with this, so there's no judgment. It just flows and continues to change and evolve. If something I don't like, I adapt it. I just continue to move because there's a lot of energy flowing through me and my hands and my being right now. And slowly you start to see something. Slowly something starts to appear. And a lot of times I feel very moved when something starts to appear, because that's when I know that I am achieving my goal, which was to release something from within me, something perhaps from my unconscious mind or from my higher self. I'm not sure. I don't need to understand it, but something needs to be released onto paper into this world for me to have a tangible manifestation of it. I can have it in my heart and in my mind, but if I have an image, it just assists me in my humanity, in my human consciousness, to grasp something that is very hard to grasp. For me, it is sometimes very hard. And there you go, that is the start. Maybe her eyes are open, I'm not sure. can play around with it, you know. Sometimes I see that the eyes are open, sometimes they are not. And these, to me, these drawings go, I sometimes give them a gender, but they are a bit genderless or beyond gender. It just helps me to give them a gender so that I can grasp what I'm doing, but really it's irrelevant. There might be here an eye, I'm not sure. I'll have a sit back now and assess, assess, you know, how I feel she's going. I call her a she, but as I said to you, it is a genderless being. Beyond that, it's beyond gender. That's a human limitation. So slowly we add shadowing and dimension. Slowly